It is, in fact, once again, patch notes season. We have the Japanese version here, and I'm sure sometime during the middle of this video, the English translation will come out, but I'm just going to go ahead and read this to you guys as I was a little bit ready for it. I had some inklings that it was going to be coming out quite soon, so let's go ahead and hop straight into this and see when this is coming out. So this is coming out today in Japan at 1600. It is currently 12, or no, it's 1 there, so in 3 hours this will be live. I might try to stay up and stream. I no promises. That's early for me, and I haven't been staying up. But yeah, it's going to be out in just a couple hours. But let's go ahead and see what these patches are going to be. New Pokemon tie rates are here. Get the tie rates license with the commemorative event. Wait, did they move? Is this Phalanx? They moved Phalanx up to today. They might have moved Phalanx up to today. Huh. Well, if they move Phalanx up, that's very interesting. Dragon Carnival event will start, be held as a preview. The start of the new Dragon Carnival event. You can participate in Dragon Carnival during the. You'll receive a face cap of Rayquaza. So you get a half of Rayquaza, I think. Dragon Carnival will be held where Dragon type Pokemon will be active, so it's going to be like a another like quick game, so that's cool. Let's get into what really matters. So Zoroark balance changes. Zoroark has choosing the center route due to the amount of damage and recovery. Okay, so they're nerfing one of its moves, Sujigiri. They're reducing the amount by 15%, and they're increasing the cooldown and the recovery amounts by attack after jumping. So I think that's cut. Is getting a nerf. I think that means cut. I get Tatsugiri. Zoroark only has recovery on cut, so that's why I'm thinking it's cut. It could be Shadow Claw. It's one of those moves, so a little bit of a nerf to that guy. Massive Boon. Wait. Due to the effect of the waiting time of whatever that is, again immediately after using those moves will be greater than expected. I was getting because your waiting time and waiting time is increased, idiots, and then idiot plus before the muscle gauge is full with the amount of corresponding. Okay, so it's Buzzwole's muscle gauge, so they're I'm going to blow it out. Muscle gauge amount increased first stage 2 to 1. Okay, so they're beat it. I think this is Buzzwole. I think this is Buzzwole. Okay, yeah, it's Buzzwole. So they're nerfing Buzzwole. It looks like, you idiot, I'm gonna blow it out and beat it plus. So they're nerfing the muscle gauge damage, which is probably a really good nerf for Buzzwole because that's where a lot of the damage came from, is when its muscle gauge was full. So, you know, nerfing that is probably a good place to start on Buzzwole. Probably still needs a little bit more. So that was adjustment details, and then we have more adjustment details. Mewtwo Y is getting another nerf. I'm here for another nerf on Mewtwo Y. Lower special attack overall. Teleport got a cooldown decrease or damage decrease, as well as a cooldown increase or cooldown decrease. So they reduced the damage. Wait. Amount increase, damage dealt 20% to 10%. So that's a nerf. And then they buffed its cooldown. Sure. All right, cool. Nerf but buff, makes sense. And then they give it its unite move more or less often. I think reduction means less often, so Mewtwo getting kind of nerfed but not really, so it'll probably still be fine. This Pokemon is often unable to withstand the Pokemon's attacks, and making surprise attacks the main option. We have made upward adjustments to his durability and that, so he can take on more head-on battles. Kakiri. That is going to be Machamp. Okay, so they're buffing Machamp's defenses. All right, I am so here for that. Both special defense and physical defense, and I have no idea what this is going to be. See if I can quickly find Google Translate. Google Translate. Detect language. Nope, that's an Antonio Brown tweet. Hellcar. I've got to guess submission. I've got to guess submission buff, which I guess, because that move definitely needs buffed. Okay, Snorlax. The disadvantage of being restricted in attack and movement was not commensurate with the amount of shield that could be obtained through moves. So they are, I believe double attack is going to be Heavy Slam, or it could be Flail. Either way, increase to that, and then they're increasing these shields on. If they're increasing the block shield, then oh my god. There's no way they're increasing the block shield. I can only assume that means block. That's insane because block was already broken. But it looks like they're lowering the movement speed. I guess that makes sense, but like, block is crazy. I should have just waited for the English one, but hey, it's fine. There were many scenes where I was stuck in the shield form, even though I was on the attack. So Aegislash getting some changes. Iron Head, cooldown buff, and Sainaru Sugiri. I can only assume that means wide guard. Oh god, fanfiction was one of the options. Dear god! Oh, it looks like the Reddit might have already had. That was 4 months ago. I'm just gonna assume that's either, since they're talking about being stuck in the shield form, I assume that's probably gonna be wide guard and Iron Head getting cooldown buffs, which is fine. Gyarados. Aquatail have low usage. Okay, yep. So they're buffing Aquatail and Waterfall, it looks like. So they are speeding up the attack of the Waterfall charges to apparently very, very, very fast. Then Aquatail distance move forward when swinging the tail. So they're moving, making that better or worse. They're lowering it, but I'm not sure if they want that lowered. I'm not sure how they want to buff that, but they're buffing Gyarados either way. Cool with that. Jump up and down added an effect that knocks the opponents with the. So Bounce getting a buff where it CCs people. Okay, I mean, Gyarados is already performing very, very well. That's an interesting buff. And then we have ourselves Hoopa getting a Trick buff. No. Yeah, Trick buff. Shield amount from 28. So that's a huge buff to the shield of Trick. And then the movement speed gets increased to a further second. That's an insane amount of shielding buffs. This is Umbreon. Since durability was too high, noticeable even before the evolution, the initial values of defense and special defense have adjusted downwards, so they're nerfing its defense. Wish has been adjusted upwards, so it becomes one of the support type options for healing allies, so more healing on Wish. And then at the same time, we have made upwards adjustment to his cheat ability, so he can play a defensive role by jumping into the opponent's movement speed reduction. Okay, so wait, I think that's foul play. Foul play is cheating. That makes sense. So they're buffing foul play. That did not need to be buffed, so even when they hit, they also miss, because defense nerfs are fine. It looks like it's only an early game defense nerf anyway for Umbreon, because the end game are both still 400 and 400 and 500 and 500, so it looks like only an early game decrease to the defenses. But the Wish, that's, I mean, this does nothing. Umbreon's still going to be broken. Yeah. This is going to be Azu, I believe. Since the upward damage was insufficient to Aquatail, Uzisha was adjusted upwards, so it's going to be, and it's going to be Waterfall and Play Rough, I believe, getting buffs, which is nice. So it only targets Pokemon from the, okay, so that's pretty cool. So you can no longer target wild Pokemon with its Unite, which is kind of a nerf, because there are times when you maybe want to do that, but otherwise, you know, if you're just in the middle of a skirmish, you don't really want that to happen. I don't hate that, but Whirlpool getting a buff is a little bit crazy, and I don't know what Uzisha Plus is. Is there any? It's only the plus move that's getting a cooldown buff, so, or yeah, cooldown buff. So that could be Play Rough, that could be Aquatail, or no, that could be Water Pulse, could be any of them. Not really sure. Iwa Palace. This is going to be. Disadvantage of Unite moves, Shattered Stone Whirlpool, was that it would be interrupted if it received disturbance while the effect was in use, which did not go well with the characteristics of the move, which becomes more powerful when attacked in the middle of the enemy territory. Adjusted so that can be used reliably when close to the enemy. No games, interference, immunity with using the move. Who is that? Crush Stone Whirlwind Base. I don't, oh god, I can't think. Crustle buff. Okay. So your ult can only get canceled. That's a huge buff. That is a huge buff. Epi, I believe this is Espeon? Oh dear god. Oh dear god. What'd I press? I pressed my scene skipping thing. Listen, I'm trying to get you all. I'm looking. It is Espeon. Assist is going to be damage reduction to one of its moves. Assist power, sword power. So they nerfed that. That's a big nerf. All right, we like that. Sword power is broken. And then meowscarada getting an attack nerf. That's fine. What's a Shira moth? Adjustments were made because the slowing effect of the enhanced attacks was too high, and scenes where one-sided attacks were too powerful. Kafu, blah blah blah. All right, so enhanced attacks for Watashira moth were nerfed or buffed. Ah, damn it. Bruh. Oh my god. Eldegoss. All right, Eldegoss nerfs. The damage amount has been reduced by 15% on one of its attacks. The enhanced attacks movement speed reduction has been nerfed. That's a nice nerf to Eldegoss. Kind of sucks. This is my favorite Pokemon, my best Pokemon, but I mean, it definitely needed a nerf. Eldegoss has been very good for a while. And then the damage amount has been reduced on its Unite move. So some overall pretty decent nerfs to Eldegoss. Yeah, really weird patch, honestly. Not a lot of great stuff here, I don't think, at least at first glance. Fix an issue, so we get some bug fixes in there. Winner would probably be, I mean, there weren't really any huge, but winner's probably Umbreon. Nice buffs to Hoopa. Gyarados gets some stuff. Aegislash gets some stuff. Snorlax. Mewtwo. Multiple nerfs. Zoroark. They're more nerfs than anything. I think the winner is probably just Umbreon because this nerf changes absolutely nothing for it. And overall, the buffs aren't very plentiful. It's really just a lot of nerfing things, which honestly I'm okay with because there's a lot of broken stuff in the game, and a lot of the other stuff does feel pretty good. I like this patch. Overall, pretty solid win. The buffs don't feel anything crazy, and we get some nice little stuff in there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded, and I may or may not stream later. Check back on the channel, I'll let you know, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.